Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Locking Down the Ladder. This is LegnaK, and today we are bringing in a new team brought to us by It's Orange Steve. And this is a very interesting team. It's got a Dhelmise, which really had my attention. I believe we've actually battled his Dhelmise team once or twice here on a best of 3. I may be wrong. If not, it may not gone up. It's one of the two. But it's definitely one of those teams that really have my interest. Really have my interest. And honestly, I was really excited that we get a chance to finally, test it out and everything. Was kind of running our last team, up until, last episode. Sorry. It's a little early for me. Still kind of waking up. But so, we have Dhelmise, we have Stack Attack, we have Indeedee, Torkoal, Primarina, and Dusclops. Which, honestly, it's a very Trick Room-oriented team like last time. So, before we even get into anything, leads us to our question of the day. Do you guys prefer Tailwind or Trick Room-oriented teams? Personally, for the longest time, it was always, I gotta go fast, it's gotta be that it's gotta be that Tailwind. Do apologize. But, as of lately, I have found a great appreciation for Trick Room, playing everybody's Tailwinds, doing everything against them. But I am not well versed in this team, so we may have a few losses. We may have a really rocky start with this one, unfortunately. But without further ado, let's take a look at this team. Let's try her out. We're going to choose our Dhelmise team. And let's get going. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm very excited. Like, it's some very interesting interesting strategies. Alright, Veniso. Good luck, my friend. Alright, so very not Trick Room oriented team, very fast team. Definitely going to go with Indeedee Dusclops here. Indeedee Dusclops, I'm definitely also having Dhelmise and Torkoal in the back. I can't really explain much about what this team does because he didn't really give me much of an explanation himself. Although, being said, I do know that Stack Attack has got Brutal Swing to help proc the weakness policy on the Dhelmise, which, if you ask me, is a very awesome idea, very awesome strategy. But that being the case, guys, we're not going to be bringing Stack Attack in on this one because there's just way too many things going on. And I feel Dusclops is overall a safer play. I feel much more comfortable with Dusclops. So, let's get into the battle. Let's have some fun. I like his card. That's a really cool background. I don't know where you get that one. I've also been thinking about changing up my character design a little bit. I know it's a gag, the fact that it can't be Batman on here. So, we can be Joker's the closest thing. It's running its bits. Alright. Now the question is, does he have Psychic Surge? Slower. Yes, we win the terrain war. We do win the terrain war. That's all I wanted. So he did take a page out of my book when we were saying, you got to have the slowest Pokemon. Really appreciate that from his end. A lot of effort and a lot of work went into this team. So Spectre's got safety goggles. Interesting. Let's go ahead and just follow me because that's the best way to do it. And let's go ahead and Trick Room. So now that we know that neither one of these Pokemon here have the Sash, if he does manage to take out Indeedee, we can just bring I know the Pokemon's name, drawing a blank, Dhelmise in here. Said it's very early. I decided to get about an hour's sleep, and then I was like, you know what? I woke up, and I was like, I might as well just get this done and over with. That way it's out at an orderly time, and we have everything needed. Alright, so Tapu Fini, that's actually fine. I'm actually not problematic with this at all. Because you can't fake out Dusclops. And we're already using Follow Me. So Taunt. This works out. This works out really nice. So he actually goes for a U-turn, which is really interesting. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Might be banded. Then again, I don't know the entire move spreads of this Indeedee. I don't know the moves, the stat spreads, the move pools that well. I did a quick gloss over when I was doing all this, but all things considered, I hope he kind of Let's follow me, and let's just do a little bit of chunk change to this Tapu Fini. Because at the same time, I still want to get this Indeedee out of here. I don't want to have a switch in for free damage. Gonna guess this is leftovers on the Fini. Okay, that's a non-issue. That's actually a non-issue whatsoever. Because Tapu Fini is... I literally have no issues with Fini. Though, it would be nice if you killed the Indeedee. Please, just kill off the Indeedee. That's all I need. That's all I want. Leftovers on the Tapu Fini, so that's your standard spread. So I'm going to guess probably about 220 HP. That seems to be reasonable ballpark. Seems to be in the reasonable ballpark, and I hope that my mouse cursor has not been here this entire time. If it's there, I am so terribly sorry. I am an absolutely terrible content creator. I'm an absolutely terrible content creator. But, alright, Tapu Fini goes for Protect. That's actually perfect. That's actually really perfect for us. Because we were doubling into this Spectre. Alright, it's about 50%. Dude, kill... Just kill the Indeedee, that's all I'm asking, man. I just want the Indeedee dead. I just want the Indeedee dead. So I'm trying to remember what he's got in the back. I don't think he has anything that, like, puts a lot of pressure. I really don't think he's got anything that puts, like, an overly high amount of pressure on Dhelmise, especially when Dynamaxed. Indeedee, I am so sorry for wanting to kill you this entire time. That was awesome. That was awesome. Very nice done, Indeedee. Very proud of you. Very proud of you, Indeedee. Alright, so this Fini is... I'm not worried about the Fini. The only thing I'm really worried about is... I don't know. I don't know what we're really worried about here. So, there's a Rillaboom. Not worried about Rillaboom. Honestly, can't be too bothered with Sid Pokemon. Let me actually see what he's got in the back, potentially. Urshifu could be a problem. And... Cinderace. I don't know why I can never remember that Pokemon's name. Alright, see how many turns of Trick Room we have left. One turn of Trick Room left, that's fine. Because we're going to Will-O-Wisp the monkey. Why not? Will-O-Wisp it. Do a little bit of extra damage. I kind of want to bait in the potential Urshifu or the potential, like, Cinderace. Why can I never remember the Pokemon's name, man? I feel so dumb. Alright, so there's a Will-O-Wisp. It does connect, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So we gotta remember we're at -1 to see how well this works. That's definitely banded, most likely. This is most likely a banded Rillaboom, which is not really a problem. Not really something that I'm too worried about because we did just burn it. Though I don't know if Dusclops is going to be able to handle a +3 and a Grassy Glide. Because I can see a potential Muddy Water coming in and just finishing us off. Ooh, this is kind of scary. Kind of scary, folks. Given that Nddidi's kind of dead weight, and they're actually doing the right thing of not killing Ndidi and, you know, getting us a free pull, and that's actually really smart on their end. I'd really appreciate, you know, that they know what they're doing. I'm not saying that other people don't know what they're doing, but it's just a really smart tactic. You know, leave the Ndidi in. Ndidi can't do much. Alright, Muddy Water. Oh, God. Dusclops, no! Nobody, no! Alright, that's fine. I mean, it's really not fine, but I can handle that more than, say. Damn, we were doing good. We probably should have just did a hard switch. I think it may have been better if we did do a hard switch, but it's a learning experience. Alright, so we got the sun. That's going to nullify just a little bit. But we're going to go for a Heat Wave, and we're actually going to Dynamax and Power Whip here, too. The reason we're going for a Heat Wave is because Eruption isn't going to do anything at all if he's hit. And if he doesn't Dynamax Finny here, I know for a fact that we're solidifying the idea that Cinderace is in the back, which is something I have to be incredibly careful of because Cinderace is a terrifying Pokemon, especially with its Liberio ability and access to Dark-type moves, Fire-type moves, Flying-type moves. All of that really do hit Dhelmise really hard, so it almost feels like it's a sacrifice to do it this way, but I think it's a sacrifice we're willing to take. So he doesn't Dynamax, which is really good. But at the same time, it's really bad. It does confirm that Cinderace is in the back waiting for us to just finish us in the end. It's very unfortunate, but we'll take this loss. It's fine. It's a loss that's perfectly fine to lose. Torkoal actually held on. Color me impressed. And it's not banded, which is an interesting, like, turn of events. I have no idea what the... Oh, that's right, it's Miracle Seed. I've never claimed to be intelligent, guys. As I said, I'm still waking up, guys. I'm still waking up. Alright, Torkoal's going to finish him off because this is a nice, juicy Specs Torkoal. Torkoal is definitely one of those Pokemon that I believe, like, its main move should, or its main held item should always be Specs. It's slow, incredibly dangerous, and I'm so glad this little dude held through. So glad this little dude held through. Alright, and there's the Cinderace that we saw coming. We do have a max guard, so we're going to try and relish in that just now, and then we're going to go for yet another Heat Wave. Going to do probably about 30%. Probably 30%, depending on the Cinderace. It might be a Life Orb Cinderace, because I don't think Life Orb has been revealed. I know for a fact that we had the Safety Goggles revealed and the Leftovers revealed, as long as a Miracle Seed, so this may be a Life Orb variant. He could also just wise up real quick and go straight for, you know, the Torkoal and say, hey, I know you're going to max guard here. I'm going to take out what I can. That's probably what I would do. But there's his Dynamax. Oh, man. Is this going to come back and bite us? We have no idea. But there's a beautiful Gigantamax Cinderace here. Absolutely terrifying Pokemon. Absolutely commands respect every time that he comes onto the field. Definitely a Gen 8 Greninja. But we did get we actually played correctly there. I'm actually really happy. That's nowhere near enough. Oh, that is nowhere near enough. If we can get, like, another max guard going, that would be nice. If we get a second max guard and a crit, maybe? We're looking at some good stuff here. No dice. It's unfortunate. There's a max fireball. Oh, that's a big fireball. knowing Dhelmise was not going to handle it. I knew it was going to be Cinderace in the back. The moment he did not Dynamax and tap Infinity. Yeah. So we definitely made a mistake of not swapping in, like, much earlier on. Was that crit? No. No. Well, I am not one for backing out of a match. Even though it's a losing match, I want to play through to the end because I always feel like it's a very, very unfulfilling loss, or not loss, but unfulfilling win if somebody backs out. And I'm pretty sure, you know, other people may feel the same. So we're going to let it happen. He definitely deserves the win because we tried playing a little too conservatively. That came back on us. That really did us in the back. But wasn't a bad match overall. Was not a bad match in the slightest. There's a max airstream. Ain't no way that we're surviving that one. Alright. That's brutal. That's brutal. I'm so sorry, Steve, for having a good game, honestly, but, you know, it was a loss. It was definitely a good game. That's definitely one thing I'm never going to say isn't the case. If we could take a look at this guy's team, I'd be really happy. Thank you. Continuing. Rare candy. Hey, we got a free rare candy. We'll take those. Fortunately, we don't get a chance to look at their team. Really, 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 really unfortunate because that was a really interesting team. We're actually falling. We're faltering, guys. We've faltered. This is not good. This is not something I wanted to see. That's back-to-back losses when you think about it. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Alright, Boods. Boods. My bad. Alright, so he has the potential to Trick Room here with Comfey. Comfey is one of those Pokemon that can Trick Room. I also feel that there's a potential Weakness Policy Dragonite set. That seems to be like the most blatantly obvious. But I think this is yet again another one of those teams that we just bring in DD Torkoal in the lead. Dusclops might have some use in the back. I'm not entirely sure. But at the same time, Dhelmise is 100% coming in. Dhelmise can do a lot of damage to a lot of these Pokemon and resist quite a few of them too. Most notably, he can't really be touched by LegnaK. He can't really be touched by Blastoise, which are two of his very obvious like heavy hitters. I don't think Stack is definitely the play. I think I'm really tossed up here because Torkoal could do a lot of damage, but Torkoal can't really hit much in terms of Dragonite and Blastoise. Primarina is probably a no-go because Primarina gets hit by a lot of the stuff, you know. I'm probably going to kick myself, but we're going to go with Stack Attack. We're going to go with Big Stack in the back. This is not looking pretty for us, folks. This is genuinely not looking pretty for us. Let's just keep on going. I'm also chalking that loss up to the fact is I'm not very well versed. I'm still very not well versed in, you know, the workings of this team. So it's definitely a good idea that we did lead these two, because Whimsicott can taunt, LegnaK can do a lot of damage. There's an eject button and a magnet, so we know it's not a Specs Lecky, obviously. And eject button Whimsicott. That's always going to haunt us. That little guy is always going to haunt us. We're going to go for a big Trick Room here. Going to go for a big old Trick Room here. And as long as he doesn't Dynamax, I think we have the option to survive. And by that, I mean, like, Little Indeedee might be able to survive. That's what I'm trying to say, but my brain is just not wanting to cooperate. Because she seems to have the bulk to handle a lot of things. So, interesting that he goes for the switcheroo and a rising voltage. Indeedee actually took a lot of damage there, so that must be modest. That must be a modest LegnaK. Interesting play. Alright, let's just go for an Expanding Force. We can do as much damage as we can here. Let's also go for a nice little Nightshade to the LegnaK, because we know that Whimsicott, once it gets hit, it's not going to be around anymore. Though, being said, we could have easily just Oh, hey, he's trying. He is trying. I don't think he quite understands the functions of Psychic Terrain, unfortunately. It is one of those things that I did have a lot of trouble with back in Sun and Moon. It was one of those very alien, like very, very alien concepts. It's like an entire terrain that prevents, you know, fake out priority moves in general. It was very strange. So I'm not going to give him too much grief because he may be a new player and everything. It took me, admittedly, about a month to get the hang of it. Probably shouldn't admit that out loud, but here we are. I'm an open book, and I'm not the smartest cookie hanging from the chandelier. So we managed to get a good, nice switch here. I can see a Comfey coming in. Comfey with a Draining Kiss. Wouldn't see why you wouldn't do that. Yep. There's the adorable little Comfey. Ready to Draining Kiss that Dragonite. Let's go ahead and Expanding Force because there's nothing that can be done here. Let's go ahead and also... I'm really feeling a Will-O-Wisp here. I'm really feeling a Will-O-Wisp here. It really shuts down Dragonite unless it's a special Dragonite. You don't very often see special Dragonite though, so I think this is our safe play. It might be a Berry, but we know for a fact 100% that this Dragonite is Weakness Policy, which does make it a rather threatening Pokemon. You know, if we let everything get killed by it. But I think we're pretty safe here. I can't say we're out of the woodworks. Definitely will not say that we're out of the woodworks in any way, shape, or form. Yep. That's Dragonite. You know, I actually like Dragonite. I got a lot of respect for Dragonite, not from Dragonite. Got a lot of respect for Dragonite, especially after one event back in 2017 that I watched, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Giovanni Costa, who had a Dragonite that managed to just barely survive an onslaught from a Smeargle, and it was one of the craziest things on the planet, I swear. He actually is going to go for a Trick Room himself, it looks like, which is very interesting, because I did not see the Draining Kiss. Then again, I kind of looked away for just a brief moment. And that has gotten me in the past. That has definitely gotten me in the past. So there's his own Trick Room. I'm not worried about this now. This actually very comfortably puts us in the driver's seat. And the reason I say that is because we're just going to bring Stakataka in. Stakataka is going to be the false Trick Roomer. We're still going to Trick Room with Dusclops, because Dusclops handles everything here. Dusclops should be able to handle, you know, a Max Worm Wind and whatever. But we're going to go for a nice big old thick Gyro Ball onto the Dragonite while we go ahead and we Trick Room again. And the reason we're going to do that is because he may want to try and take this opportunity to say, hey, we got the speed advantage by a long shot. I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, Draining Kiss... As said, it's a lot of HP back. Like, I mean a lot, because Dragonite is a bulky little baby boy. He is adorable, but he is thick. Alright, so that's a max Airstream, which is probably the best thing to happen to us, because Dusclops handles that. Dusclops handles that. We take this. This is definitely a non-issue. And it makes it easier for our Gyro Ball to do even more damage, because for those who don't know, Gyro Ball does a lot more damage the slower you are compared to your opponent, and that does include speed boosts, tailwinds, all that jazz. Which, this just made it so much better. Made it so much easier. So we're looking at potential Berry here, and let's go ahead and Berry and Nightshade. I want to get this Dragonite out of here as soon as possible, just because he actually goes for a cancel, which is really good. You know, we'll take that. Does feel a little bit hollow. We'll take that. I accidentally clicked that. Yeah, ignore that. Ignore that. Maybe we'll have a chance to take a look at their team. It was very interesting. We do get to take a look at it, so let's just hop right into this. So here's our little Whimsicott, absolutely adorable with the eject button. It's definitely going to be timid, because what else are you going to do? My prediction, without looking yet, is going to be obviously Switcheroo, Encore, because we did see Encore, Moonblast, and Tailwind. Right on the money. Switcheroo, Moonblast, Encore, Tailwind. Really, really good set right there. I think we had a very similar one back in Dallas of 2020, and the only thing that was changed was Taunt instead of Encore. His name is Mr. Sparkles, or, well, the original trainer, so it might be, you know, specifically bred one, as I like to put it. But, got a Dragonite. We knew it was going to be weakness policy. We did see it. It was an Adamant Nature, you know, multi-scale, which is very interesting to see multi-scale instead of Inner Focus. Personally, I would say Inner Focus because Inner Focus, you know, prevents Intimidate, you know, prevents flinching, you know, if you're not outside of Dynamax. So, Fly, Outrage, Extreme Speed, Dragon Dance. So this guy was just built for war. This thing was just built for an outright onslaught. I like seeing what I'm seeing right here. It's a shame that he didn't really get to see his full potential because this team was actually just a little bit better. I hate to say that because it sounds a little more arrogant, but I don't know. That was a really interesting spread. You know, we had the Shiny LegnaK by Mr. Sparkle, so starting to notice a trend here. Not that it matters. I really don't care. So it was actually a Modest Nature, which is not even max speed because I think it's 244 is max speed LegnaK, even at Modest. So, very, very interesting here. So, it was Extreme Speed, Thunder, Rising Voltage, Electro Web. I'm really surprised I didn't see any kind of screen usage here. Or Protect. I mean, at that point, yeah, no, that's actually interesting. Actually, really, really interesting. I'm not really too keen on the whole, you know, Extreme Speed on a special set, unless, you know, you're running a physical set. Which really contradicts what I just said. But, continuing on, folks. So here's the Dynamax Blast, or Gigantamax Blastoise, my apologies. With White Herb, that's a very basic one, very similar one. And it looks to be a little bit more bulky than usual. Actually, I wouldn't really know because I don't really run Blastoise as much. Modest Nature, so it's going to be Protect, Shell Smash, Hydro Pump, and Blizzard, which is really good. I mean, at that point, I would potentially run Hydro Cannon over it instead of, like, if you're not running Scald or Water Spout. Water Spout's a really fun one to use. But that's just, you know, my opinions. Really, really, really solid set right there, though. The Comfey we did see, it was actually Focus Sash, not Babiri Berry, which is really interesting. You know, really, really interesting because, you know, I would personally use Babiri Berry. Oh well. It is a Calm Nature? I'm never good with these. Calm Nature, Trick Room, Floral Healing, Ally Switch, and Draining Kiss. So this was a little naughty devil. This little Comfey was a naughty devil. So glad he didn't use that Ally Switch on us. That would have been a little bit annoying. Alright. And then we have Clefairy, which, you know, Clefairy's got Eviolite. No, it doesn't. Huh. Okay. So, you know, it's a bulky little Clefairy, you know, Helping Hand, Moonblast, Follow Me, Reflect, which is a good set. Good set. But, wow, I'm really surprised that we didn't see Eviolite on that Clefairy. Color me surprised, folks. But anyways, let's continue on to our last battle here. Let's take a look at everything. Let's hope we get a good match. We actually got some points in Tier 2 of Great Ball! Yes, let's go. I'm very happy. We actually did something. We're doing this team proud. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and update that team score real quick. We're 13-4. We need to actually show that. Alright, 13-4. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but whatever. So, this is an interesting team right here. So, we got, you know, Landorus, we got LegnaK, we got Grimmsnarl. I know, it's Registeel, Spectre, and Moltres. Alright, so I really, you know, once again, poor Stakataka is not getting a chance to go ahead and Trick Room for us. But I can't really see, I can't justify Stakataka here. I gotta say Torkoal is our main Mon here. And definitely Dhelmise. Like, that's definitely our choices. 100% definitely our choices. I'm really trying to get this Dhelmise to shine. And I know this is our first episode with it. So hopefully, in the near future, we'll have a good shot. But we never know. We never know, folks. We never know. Alright, well, let's go ahead and just get right into this. Let's hope we have a good match, a good fun match. Hope everybody has fun. Everything in Dusk Balls, because that is honestly one of the best looking Pokeballs. You know, fight me, argue with me all you want. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. So, are we going to see either a Life Orb or a Weakness Policy on this Moltres? Life Orb or Moltres, or Life Orb, Wide Lens, and Weakness Policy. So that's a Wide Lens. Why would you run Wide Lens? What are you running that's Wide Lens worthy? Snarl, maybe? 100% Snarls? I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is we need to get our NDD out of here. She's going to follow me just in case, you know, any taunts or anything. So, there's the taunt. Great idea. Great choice on us. You know, I'm not trying to stroke my own eagle. Yes, I know I said eagle. God, that's such a great animation. I love it. Please do not flinch, Dusclops. Thank you, buddy. You are awesome. Alright, so we're just going to do what we normally do. We're just going to Expanding Force, even though it's only touching this. It's only touching this. Let's go ahead and Nightshade as well. Because I'm not overly worried. Not overly worried about this Moltres. Because it's not Dynamax. It's not, you know, Weakness Policy stricken. Nothing that we could really do that strikes its Weakness Policy. So, I think we're kind of in the clear here. I don't think, I really 100% do not think that this Spectre is going to die to a combination of Nightshade and an Expanding Force. There's a potential, if it's, you know, not bulky in any way, shape, or form. You know, there's our standard set. Doesn't affect, you know, the Moltres. Yeah, I saw that coming. Fiery Wrath, here we go again. Again, best animation. I love it. It makes everything look so sinister. Looks so terrifying. I love it so much. Alright, that's fine. It's a little unfortunate. We do lose our Dusclops here, folks. We do lose Dusclops, which means that we have to play... We got to run with the devil a little bit, I guess you could say, in trying to get our Weakness Policy procced on Dhelmise. I'm not saying that Dhelmise is in any way, shape, or form incapable of doing damage by himself, but I think it would be a little bit of help. Alright, Torkoal. That's another thing. We're just going to go right for, you know, an Eruption. Because we're faster than absolutely everything. We got Psychic Terrain, so there's no priority. And I'm just going to go for a Max Steel Spike, because such a great ability, Steel Worker. Honestly, I really very much enjoy... I very much enjoy Dhelmise, because it's such an interesting mon, you know. Great nature, not great nature, great ability, great typing, you know, great move pool as well. Anchor Shot's a very interesting one that prevents switch-in, or switch outs, I should say. Overall, it's just a great Pokemon. I wish it was a little bit better. You know, whether it be a little bit bulkier, a little bit slower, it's got to be one or the other. It's got to be one or the other, folks. But let's try and get our screenshot here going, too. I want to get, you know, nice, big, old, beautiful Dhelmise up on that screen. Let's look at this big boy. There we go. Look at that. There's your screenshot, folks. So, a little bit of a spoiler alert. If that makes any sense. It's like a post-spoiler? Pre-spoiler? I don't know how that works. But anyways, we're probably going to just waste up a whole turn. We actually did not waste a whole turn of, you know, Dynamax, thankfully. Oh, thankfully. But, man, that Torkoal did a number. Did an absolute number. Alright. So, I don't think I'm going to have the team rental today. I do have to talk with Steve about this. I think he's still on vacation at the time of this upload. So maybe within the next 2 or 3 days we'll have the team upload. I can't make any guarantees though. Alright. So Registeel. Registeel is one of those Pokemon that are just really scary. Especially if we let it set up. So we're stuck with Eruption. Let's go for Eruption. He's probably going to Protect. And let's just go ahead and go for a Max Overgrowth. And the reason we're going for a Max Overgrowth instead is because we could potentially, like, negate any kind of Earthquake if he doesn't Dynamax. Though there's his Dynamax here, so that's a little bit of a problem. We're going to still do a lot of damage to this. I think the Eruption alone is going to do roughly about half, because Specs Torque Hole with Eruption is absolutely terrifying, especially when it's Sun boosted. Sun, Stab, all that jazz, absolutely terrifying move. So, there's a Registeel going for the Protect. That was the correct play on his point. Definitely the correct play. Alright, so let's go ahead, hit an Eruption, doing, whoa, that's actually a lot more damage than I was expecting. We're not complaining, because that there, folks, is just enough, and that does potentially eke us out a guaranteed win. The reason I say guarantee is because he could probably get some shenanigans going on. We don't know. But that poor Landorus, that poor kitty cat. That poor kitty cat. Alright, so Registeel is at the mercy of a very ticked off Torque Hole and an Anchor. Well, that's two battles forfeit today. Technically 3, because I was thinking about forfeiting mine, but not bad. Not bad at all. If we can take a look at this guy's team, that would be absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and see. Please, fingers crossed that works. We do get a chance to take a look at it, which makes me very happy, because I always love doing analytics. Analyzing? One of those words. I love taking a look at these guys. So this guy actually came all the way from Kalos. Hello, where do you get Kalos? Hoenn. I had to think about that for a second. So it was a Life Orb set. Adamant. We didn't get a chance to see that it was Life Orb because Dhelmise kind of just sat there and was like, nah, man, it's not happening. Dhelmise and Torque Hole just sat there. It was like, not happening. But Fly, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Sword Stance, you know, it's a standard set right there. You know, I don't care about that. Ooh, I want to see what that is. I can't see what it is, so sadly, it makes me sad. So we had LegnaK, which isn't a Dusclaw like that. Doesn't matter. We're looking at Focus Sash. We saw the Focus Sash as a potential thing. Timid Nature with Thunderbolt, Electro Wave, Volt Switch, and Protect, which is a really good strategy. Really good set right there. You can't go wrong with that. We got Grimmsnarl, which was the Lagging Tail set. I hate this set so much because they got like Fake Out, they got Trick, they got, you know, all these little shenanigans that they got going. It's typically going to be Fake Out, Trick, or Switcheroo, whatever it is. Taunt, maybe, and then Spirit Break. So it was an Impish Nature, which is the best one for it. So Spirit Break, Taunt, Trick, and Fake Tears. So we were so close to having that correct. So close to having it correct. But hey, Grimmsnarl, I'm so glad we did not see it. I am so glad we did not see this guy. This guy would have actually been a bane of my existence. So let's take a look at this Registeel. It's actually coming all the way from Alola leftover set. You know, it's a bold nature. It's a bold strategy, really. Body Press, Iron Defense, Amnesia, Protect. This thing becomes an absolute monster tank that you just cannot kill because Registeel is a very bulky Pokemon. It's honestly one of my favorite legendaries, but in terms of Regis, I hate to say it, LegnaK and Regirock outpace it, but I don't know. It's a good mon. Alright, Spectrier, Wide Lens, we did see that, very confused, so let's see exactly what this Spectrier is running. It has Will-O-Wisp, makes all the sense in the world now. God, I hate Will-O-Wisp miss, so I totally do not blame you for doing that. So Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Snarl, and Shadow Ball. So I really do not blame him for, I did not mean to do that. I really cannot blame this fella for having this Spectrier like this. I can't blame him. Can't blame him whatsoever. Alright, so the Moltres, here we go with Weakness Policy, Timid Nature. You know, that's actually really good. Timid Nature is a good one. I typically run Modest, but, you know, that's just me. Fiery Wrath, Air Slash, Nasty Plot, and Protect. That's your standard situations. You know, Hurricane's another really good one, but I'm starting to notice a trend now. A lot of them are starting to run Air Slash over Hurricane, which I guess makes a lot of sense because you got Sun everywhere, which drops it down to 50% accuracy, and then, you know, you got to rely on Rain for 100%, and then, you know, 70% accuracy. It's not good. But anyways, that was Game 3, guys. Game 3 was a really, really good match. You know, really got a chance to show off some of, you know, the inner workings of this team. As I said, super, super excited. Super, super, super excited to play with this team for, you know, at least maybe another 3 or 4 matches, 3 or 4 episodes. Really, really hyped to see this because this team, like, when Orange Steve runs it, absolutely, like, is the bane of my existence because he is so good with it. But that's enough for everything, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, don't forget to leave a like down below. If you guys have not already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so very, very much. You know, we're trying to get somewhere with this, and I would love to continue making this, you know, a pretty ongoing thing. Also, if you guys have not followed me on Twitch, link is going to be in the description down below because I do stream pretty much every single day. But that's enough of me. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time.